What's going on, guys? It's your girl Karina here, and I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. So you have a lot of time in your hands, don't you? Are you bored? Are you bored? Are you done with YouTube? But not me. Why am I doing this? How about try watching some Netflix? And I'm going to be giving you guys some of my 13 favorite shows to watch on Netflix. They're not in any particular order, but why not check them out? Let's get on to the video.
Hello there, it's me! It's Maritza. I bet you weren't expecting me in this video, but you know, my partner shied out, so I had to take over, and now it's a competition to see who does it better. So first off, a show that we both like to watch is 13 Reasons Why. It talks about the taboo topic of suicide. Our victim here is Hannah Baker, a teenager who commits suicide and eventually sends out tapes to all of those people explaining her reasons why she committed suicide. And guess how many reasons there are? 13.
La Rosa De Guadalupe! I really like watching that show, especially before I go to bed because it makes me cry. And it's better when I cry because that way I sleep better. I cry myself to sleep, you guys. Anyways, so I really like this show because there's different episodes. Every episode is different with different characters, different personalities, and there's a lot of storylines that deal with what reality is, what happens in our world.
Can you hear that? It's my stomach. I'm young and I'm hungry. That's another show I really enjoy. It's about this struggling chef. She's an adult, but she certainly does not act like one. She can't pay her bills, her car is failing, and she's just struggling at this point to get some money. She happens to strike a job as a chef to a rich entrepreneur, and from there the story evolves into some romance, and there's a bunch of different types of characters. There's a bunch of a diversity of characters. So it's just really entertaining, and every episode just cracks me up. Plus it has, I don't know if all of you remember from Hannah Montana, Lily? Yeah, well, she's the main character.
Alright guys, so Friends. I don't really need to talk about Friends. I feel like the whole world knows what Friends, the show, is. And, well, one thing that I do have to talk about is Jennifer Aniston. I've always had a crush on her, and that's one of the reasons why I continue to watch Friends. But Friends, if you don't know, if you've never ever watched it, shame on you. It's about 3 men, 3 women. They're pretty young, and they're living in the same apartment complex. And they somehow become friends, and they somehow continue to become friends, and they go through their struggles, and they help each other out. And I really don't think I need to explain myself too much on Friends or explain what it is about. But like I said, if you don't know about it, just watch it.
One punch. That's all it takes. According to One Punch Man, he is the strongest person on Earth. With any big creature, any enemy, he takes him down with one punch. He used to be really weak, but he trained himself to be really strong. It is an anime, and I really enjoyed it because it was just really funny and just silly and kind of stupid, but it's entertaining. Stupidity is entertaining.
Alright, so Switch That Birth. I don't know how many of you guys out there have watched Switch That Birth, but I don't even... Okay, how did I come upon that show? I actually think I just remember clicking on what said Switch That Birth, and then I started watching it, and like the first episode basically tells you what it's gonna be about, and hence the title, Switch That Birth. So it's about these 2 girls who get switched at birth, and they're living each other's lives. And for me, that was like intense. Like I was kind of like, what the F? Like, that's crazy. And I was thinking, what if I was in that position? I'm like, what would I do, right? And so it kept me hooked. I kept watching the show.
Next up, we have La Casa de Flores, otherwise known as The House of Flowers. It's a beautiful title for a dark, slightly sadistic comedy. It starts off with this perfect rich family. They own a flower boutique. And the next thing you know, they're celebrating the dad's birthday. And then there's a suicide in the house of flowers. So from there, all the secrets start coming out between the dad, the siblings, and it's just really interesting how it just stumbles from one thing to another and how something so perfect could fall apart so easily.
So Girls Incarcerated is another one of my favorite shows. It's actually, well, it's not exactly a show, it's more of a documentary. There's a difference between prison and jail. And prison, it means that you are going to jail for more than a year. And jail means that you are going to be in jail for less than a year. So these girls happen to be in the category of jail. And their crimes have maybe not been like the worst of the worst, like killing. But it just breaks my heart for them because it's a true life story.
Like the show, I'm 23, but I'm not a virgin. Jane the Virgin is about a 23-year-old virgin who gets pregnant because instead of a pap smear, her doctor gave her an insemination by some very precious frozen semen. So her whole lifestyle turns around. She starts off having a fiance, and then from there, she doesn't. It just goes up and down just like life. Her love and her personal life is just a complete whirlwind.
So I've always wanted to become a police officer, and Quantico has always been one of the shows that I like to watch because when I'm thinking to myself, if I ever become a police officer, I might have to keep secrets from a lot of my friends or a lot of people because you don't know what they're thinking, you don't know what's going on in their mind, you don't know if they're out to get you. And this is what the show is about. Like, becoming an FBI agent is not going to be an easy thing. And for them, it's like a struggle emotionally, mentally, physically. That is exactly what I believe that happens in wanting to become a police officer. And so I personally like watching this show because it just makes me think how much I have to give up of my life in order to fulfill my dreams.
Accidentally in love. I typically like to watch a lot of K-dramas, otherwise known as Korean dramas. But I really like this Chinese drama that's on Netflix. It's about two different sides of being rich. The rich and famous and the rich not want to be rich because there's this young rich girl who is being forced out to marry, but she has dreams of her own, other things she wants to accomplish, a different life she wants to live. So she runs away, pretends to have a different identity, and goes from being really pretty to, she's cute, but a little quirky. And she meets this guy who's rich and famous because he's an entertainer, and, well, they accidentally fall in love.
Grey's Anatomy is one of my favorite shows. It's a medical show where a group of interns are trying to reach for their dreams to become surgeons. And there's tons of characters in that show with different personalities. And for those of you who are looking for some kind of lesbian romance, there's also a couple in there that is going to keep you hooked into the show. And I personally stayed hooked onto that show because of that specific couple. And I'm pretty sure that you will be able to relate to one of those characters in the shows because, like I said, there's so many personalities, so many different characters, and I encourage you guys to watch it. Alright guys, so we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you liked it. And I'm sorry that we're not the best reviewers. We just wanted to get out there what our top 13 shows to watch on Netflix were. And do you want to say something?
Yeah, if you have any recommendations or anything that you think we might like according to our descriptions, list that down below and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching our videos, for all your support, and we encourage you guys to keep supporting us.
Love you.
We'll see you guys next time on Influence!